Hi everyone, it's Tara with the Vellum Bee, and I have a brand new mini scrapbook that is now available at my website, thevellumbee.com. This is a super cute fold out flip album that features the Pinkfresh Studio Let's Stay Home paper collection. The colors are bright and beautiful, and there are so many amazing patterns and designs included in this collection. You are going to love it. I also use all of the extra accessories that Pinkfresh Studio has available for this collection, and that includes the cardstock stickers, the journaling bits with some great tags and pockets, these adorable puffy stickers, cute chipboard flair, an ephemera pack full of all kinds of goodies, and of course, enamel dots for the finishing touch. The other supplies that are included with this kit include 2 pieces of chipboard for the front and back cover, and a nice long piece of bright blue ribbon to help tie the whole entire album together. You will just need some of your own paper crafting tools and adhesive to complete this beautiful album. So in this kit, everything has been pre-cut for you, including 2 cover sheets, which are going to be 7.5 by 9.5 inches, 7 pages at 5 3/4 inches by 7 1/4 inch, and then 1 back page that measures 5 1/4 inch by 7 1/4 inch. So like I said, everything has been pre-cut for you, but if you're following along at home, doing this on your own, you will need 2 chipboard covers cut at 5 1/2 inches by 7 1/2 inches. Those are cut from medium weight chipboard, so they're pretty sturdy. I'm going to be using my favorite adhesive for the front and back covers, and that is some score tape. This is 1-inch score tape, and I also use a clear acrylic stamp block just to rip the edges nice and clean. I recommend using score tape or some other kind of strong dry adhesive so that you don't get any warping or bubbling once you adhere the paper to the surface. Go ahead and apply the adhesive to all of the edges, and then if you wish, a little bit in the middle. Go ahead and do this for the front side of each piece of chipboard. I use a bone folder to really burnish these strips of adhesive down. It just makes it so much easier when you go to remove that adhesive backing. So once you have all of the adhesive applied to one side of that chipboard, we are going to be applying that sticky side down to the back side of our front and back cover papers. Place those pieces of chipboard directly in the center of the back sides of the front and back pieces of paper. This will give you 1 inch on both sides, as well as 1 inch at the top and the bottom. Once you have it placed in the center, go ahead and push down really hard so that it adheres. Now we're going to be cutting all of the corners off just to make it much easier to fold. So I just take a piece of the same chipboard and place it next to the corner and just use a pencil and create a line on the outside of that chipboard piece. You can also use a ruler to get the same effect. Do this for all 4 corners. Then you just take a pair of scissors and you trim on the outside edge of that line that you just drew in. Once your corners have been trimmed, you will need to apply adhesive to all of the outside edges of the paper. Again, use a bone folder to burnish them down so that adhesive backing is much easier to remove, and then go ahead and trim any excess off of the edges. To make the edges of the paper fold a little bit easier, I do a little bit of conditioning first. I take the edge of the paper and rub it against a hard surface just so it will start that folding process. Adhere the long sides first to the chipboard and then the top and the bottom. Use your bone folder to really press those edges down so they adhere nice and tight. Do this for both the front and back cover. Once you have both the front and back covers adhered to the chipboard, go ahead and set those to the side, and then we're going to work on the inside pages of the album. For this next step, you will need a scoreboard and a scoring tool, or you can also use a ruler and a scoring tool. So you have the one smaller piece of paper, which measures 5 1/4 inches by 7 1/4 inches, and this will be for the back page of the album. We will not be scoring this page. You will take the rest of the pages that were cut to 5 3/4 inches by 7 1/4 inches, and we're going to score those along the short edge at 5 1/4 inch. Get the pages in the order that you desire them from front to back, and then start with that first page. Line up your corner in the scoreboard and score at 5 1/4 inch. To keep the pages in order, I just simply flip it over and set it to the side. Then I start with the second piece of paper and I continue to score each piece at the 5 1/4 inch mark. We're going to start the inside assembly of the album by adhering the back and front chipboard pages first. So for this first page, we will be applying adhesive to the back of that first piece of patterned paper. Go ahead and fold at the score line and then apply adhesive to the back side of that edge. I'm using 1/2 inch score tape, which might be just a tad large for that space. So once you get it applied to that edge, trim off any excess on either end, and then you may need to trim off a little bit of excess that is right along the edge of the paper. Leave that adhesive in place. Do not remove it. And then go ahead and apply more adhesive to the entire back side of that first page. This page will be stationary. It will be attached to the inside cover. Adhere that first page to the inside cover of the chipboard, making sure that that scored edge is on your right hand side and that you have about 1/8 of an inch of border all the way around. Then take your smaller piece of paper, the one that is 5 1/4 inches by 7 1/4 inch, and apply adhesive to the back of that piece as well. You are going to adhere this to the very center of the back piece of chipboard, again leaving 1/8 inch border all the way around. If it makes it easier, go ahead and put your two sides together so that when you adhere this back piece of paper, it's in the exact same spot as the front cover. We're done with the back cover, so you can set that to the side, and we are going to work on getting the rest of our pages installed in this album. Now, as we install the rest of the pages in the album, it is important to note that each new page will be opposite from the page preceding it, meaning we will be applying adhesive to opposite sides of the scored edge, as well as adhering the opposite side of the patterned paper to the page before it. I find the easiest way to remember this is that if the adhesive is applied on the front side of the scored edge, then the front side of that patterned paper will be adhered to the preceding page's scored edge. This is important so that the book's pages open and flip correctly. So on the first page, we applied adhesive to the back side of that scored edge. On the second page, we will be applying adhesive to the front side of that scored edge. We will also be applying adhesive to the scored edge before we adhere it to the preceding page. So fold the scored edge to get your front side of the paper and apply your adhesive. Because we applied adhesive to the front side of the scored edge, we will be adhering the front side of the patterned paper to the back side of the page before it. I find it easiest to turn the book a bit so that I can line my pages up straight before adhering. On this next page, we apply adhesive to the back side of the scored edge first, and then adhere the back side of the patterned paper to the front side of the page before it. Again, if it makes it easier, just turn your book a bit so that you can line your pages up straight. The next page gets adhesive applied to the front side of that scored edge first, and then we will adhere the front side of the patterned paper to the back side of the scored edge of the page before it. The next page will get adhesive applied to the back side of the scored edge first, and then adhere the back side of the patterned paper to the front scored edge of the page before it. Keeping with opposite sides, this page will get adhesive applied to the front side of the scored edge, and then the front side of that patterned paper will be adhered to the back side of the scored edge of the page before it. The last page will get adhesive applied to the back side of the scored edge first, and then adhere the back side of the patterned paper to the front of the scored edge of the page before it. Now all we have to do is attach the last page's scored edge to the back chipboard piece along the side edge of the back page. Make sure you adhere the scored edge to the back paper and not the edge of the chipboard. It can get a little tricky here because you can't quite see, but just make sure you take your time so that you get that scored edge adhesive lined up with the back page of that chipboard. Okay, so now you have the whole album assembled, and you can see how the pages flip open to the back cover, which then flips open to the rest of the pages inside. Now you can go ahead and embellish all of the inside pages and the front cover of your album. Before you do anything to the back cover of the album, I am going to show you how to attach the ribbon closure. So here's the album, all decorated and embellished on the inside, as well as decorated and embellished on the front cover. I will go through in more detail what you see here, but let's first get to this ribbon closure. So you want to start with a nice long piece of ribbon. The piece of ribbon that comes with the kit is 36 inches long, which gives you plenty of room to tie around the entire album. We will be placing this ribbon in the center of the album, so you want to make sure that none of your front embellishments interfere with the ribbon or the tying of the ribbon. You can either eyeball the center of your back chipboard cover, or to be more exact, use a pencil and a ruler to mark the center spot. You can then flip the album over and use that same measurement and just make sure that none of your front embellishments are in the way of the ribbon closure or tying that ribbon closure. I'm going to be using 1/4 inch score tape to attach my 1/4 inch wide ribbon. If your ribbon is larger, I would just adjust your adhesive accordingly. Find your center and apply your adhesive, making sure that you apply it to the back only. Do not wrap it around the edges. If you want the ribbon closure to tie exactly in the center, then just go ahead and make both ends of the ribbon even. If you want it to tie on the side a little bit like I do, then the top ribbon, or the ribbon that comes over the cover, will be a little bit longer. Once the ribbon is adhered to the back cover, go ahead and flip the album over, tie the ribbon where you want it closed, and then trim the ends if needed. I had set aside some embellishments that I wanted for this back cover, and now that my ribbon is all adhered, I can go ahead and apply the embellishments directly over that ribbon. Here's this sweet little album all completed, and you can see here on the cover that I used lots of embellishments from the collection, including tags from the journaling bits, some cardstock stickers, a puffy sticker, lots of chipboard flair, and enamel dots. There are so many gorgeous pages inside this album. I can't wait to show you what's inside. The inside front cover is always a great place to add in a little bit of journaling to describe what the album is all about, and that's what I've done here. I decorated the patterned paper with some scraps that I cut into strips and just added to the left side of the page, and then added in more stickers and a cute little journaling spot. On this next page, I created a tag from one of the journal cards cut from the patterned paper of the collection, and then I simply rounded the bottom corners. This tag is positionable anywhere on the page with this tiny gold clip. I then added some stickers to the bottom, and generally when I add stickers to a page of an album, I will pop them up with dimensional adhesive so that you can still get a photo or memento behind them. On this next page, I cut 2 pieces of paper and scored a 1/2 inch on one top and one bottom to create a flip open page. I attached 2 ephemera pieces with mini brads and attached a piece of twine as a closure. On the inside, I added more patterned paper to cover up the brads and then layered more patterned paper, stickers, and enamel dots. There is space on both flips as well as in the center. This next page uses the 2 pre-cut frames from the ephemera pack of the collection. I put dimensional adhesive on both sides and the bottoms of each frame, leaving the top open so a 2x2 picture can be slid into the frame. Then I just added in stickers, flair, and enamel dots. I left this page fairly open by popping up a layered tag made from lots of the embellishments of the collection, and then just added a small popped up sticker at the bottom. I love pockets and have included quite a few in this album. This first one was made by cutting down one of the journaling bits and then adding dimensional adhesive to the side and bottom. I added a couple of small embellishments to a pre-made tag and slipped that into the small pocket. For the main pocket, I cut a piece of the patterned paper to 4 inches by 11 3/4 inches and then scored it at 6 inches to create this photo folder. Then I used lots of the TV and movie watching embellishments to decorate it. I know we all had time for that. This would be a great spot to list your new Netflix favorites. This next page features a large die-cut frame that is also popped up with dimensional adhesive at the sides and the bottom, so a 3 3/8 inch by 5 inch photo can be slipped in easily. I add more dimension by popping up some of the embellishments on the frame. This second pocket is attached to the bottom of the page and has been decorated with a strip of patterned paper at the top along with a few embellishments. Inside, it holds this ready-made library pocket and tag and 2 button and string closure envelopes. I made inserts for both using the patterned paper, but the second envelope would be perfect to hold the recipe cards of your favorites during the stay-at-home period. I also made a photo card out of the patterned paper and added a slip under holder on one side and a small tag on the other. I love how this album flips easily from the front side to the back, and there is not one surface that is not decorated with adorable embellishments. The inside cover here features a small pocket created with another of the journal cards cut from the patterned paper and popped up to hold 3 die-cut cards. I focused all of these cards on learning during our stay at home, whether it's reading, online studying, or arts and crafts. The adjoining page has just a layered tag at the bottom so you can add in plenty of photos. The fun striped page is again nice and open with layered embellishments at the top and bottom corners. The next page features a fun flip that has been layered with patterned paper and fun embellishments to document all of the great games played during all of the extra family time. This colorful page is dedicated to everything we listened to during the stay at home, whether it was podcasts or music. No matter what it was, the embellishments are awesome. I figured during this wonderful stay-at-home period, everyone was doing a lot more cooking and baking, so I wanted to create extra room for all of those great pictures, favorite recipes, and yummy ways that we passed the time. This is a large slash pocket that has also been popped up at the side and bottom to hold a little book for all of those amazing memories. This book has 3 layered pages that are all 6.5 inches in length. The first page is 8.5 inches wide and scored in half. The second page is 9 inches wide and scored in half, and the third page is 9.5 inches wide and scored in half. I layered from smallest on top to largest on bottom so you can see the cute patterned paper peeking out. Each page has adorable and charming embellishments dedicated to cooking and baking at home, ordering in, and even how we got out of our sweats and dressed for dinner. This album may be mini in size, but the way it folds and flips gives you so many pages to document this surreal, amazing, and unbelievable period of time that so many of us have experienced. Visit my website, thevellumb.com, to order this amazing kit, which comes complete with everything you see here and full color instructions. Thanks for watching my video. See you next time. Bye.